Good morning, class 6. I'm Anil Bhagat, your science teacher from Modern International School, Hiswa. Welcome back to our e-learning program. Today, in this video lecture, we will discuss about chapter 6, that is changes around us. And today, we will discuss that what are the ways which makes the changes happen. What are the ways which makes the changes happen? So in the previous lectures we had discussed a lot: reversible change, irreversible change, natural change, man-made change, periodic change, non-periodic change, because of heat, endothermic change, exothermic change, physical change, chemical change, a whole lot of type of changes we discussed in the previous lectures. Today we will discuss that how we can bring the changes, or what are the you can see what are the ways by which you can bring the changes. So the three ways we discussed: the first is heating or cooling, the second is by applying pressure, and the third is by mixing. So here on heating and cooling, so let's take an example. We had discussed earlier that in the process of heating and cooling, if you take out ice from the refrigerator or from the ice container, then what will happen? Because of the atmospheric temperature or heat, this ice will convert into water. Because of the atmospheric heat, this ice will convert into water, and when you put it back inside the refrigerator or in the ice container, then you will find that this water again converted into ice. So in this way we observe that heating and cooling also create the changes. Heating and cooling create the changes in the things. We will discuss more detail about heating and cooling in the next lecture. Now let's move to the next point, that is by applying pressure. By applying pressure. So in our normal or day-to-day life, we see that a whole lot of places we are applying pressure to create changes. We are applying pressure to create changes. Pressure means force per unit area. Remember class, pressure means, just remember this for right now. We will read about pressure a whole in details in the next chapters, but here remember, pressure means force per unit area. Means this thumb, if I apply it on someone or this book or somewhere, means what? This is the whatever the size of my thumb. By measuring my thumb, whatever the size, so per unit, every unit area, the force we are applying is called the pressure. So by applying the pressure we create a change. Change will create. Suppose if you take a wood and you start creating pressure on it, it will don't squeeze or don't you can say it will not change its shape, because it is a hard object. How much pressure you apply, but it will not change, because molecules are placed at its place very compactly in a solid. So here how much pressure you apply, it will not change its shape. But if you apply too much pressure on it, then what will happen? It will break. If you apply too much pressure on it, it will break. So here some things are there on which if you apply pressure, it will break. It will not change its shape. But suppose if you take some soft thing like a sponge, or like a pillow, or like cotton, so if you squeeze them or if you apply pressure on them, they will squeeze or their shape will change. So this is how by applying pressure we create changes. Now comes the next, that is by mixing. So in our normal life we use this process for several things. Normally if you enter in your kitchen, so you will find that we are cooking dal, we are cooking vegetables. So here is what we are doing. Here we are mixing the whole things together and then we start cooking. So this is the change is happening here because of mixing. Or normally if we take some sugar and salt and mix with water, so it is mixing. So sugar and salt dissolve in water and a new thing will syrup will create. It is a physical change. We can separate salt and water from the, we can separate it, but here there are some chemical change also. If you mix uh, lime and water, then the chemical change will occur. Heat will evolve from that. So there are several type of changes happen because of the process of mixing. So class, I hope you are able to understand these different ways by which changes will create. We will discuss these topics in detail in the next video lectures. So go through this lecture, read your book properly. Any problem, ask me class. I will help you. Have a great day. Be safe at home. Thank you.